Hi everybody. Well, after my last video, a couple friends of mine really enjoyed it. Uh, some of my family members really enjoyed it, so I figured I'd do another one. Today, I want to talk about positivity and how your own positivity or negativity can affect others, and a metaphor to think about it. So, here it goes. I'd like to think of it in terms of food coloring. Bruce Lee, a long time ago, said something along the lines of be like water or be water. So if your emotions are water, positive emotions, you can think of them as a pool of flowing spring water, just crystal clear, beautiful, see-through, you know, that kind of stuff. And negativity, you can think of it in terms of food coloring. You know, when you add a couple drops of food coloring to, a big bowl of water, just a couple drops go a long way. So, what can you do to affect your mood? Well, usually we're having a bad day or a bad mood or a bad year because of living either in the past and experiences that you have had that affect how your present is being now, or you're living in the future, in the what ifs, which may never even happen. So it's kind of an interesting idea. What I would tell you is the best way to get rid of all this negativity and all this doubt, maybe like this lack of self-love, is by being in the present. So how can you do that? Well, a lot of times when we're unhappy with a situation, those negative thoughts come in like little drops of food coloring. And what they do is they murky up your positive energy. Well, a way to kind of bleach that water is to live more in the now. To either let go of the past or realize that this future what ifs may never really even happen. Because all you really have is the present now. So, what can you do to avoid these negative emotions? Well, you can do one of three things. And I get these from the Power of Now book that I talked about in my last video. You can either remove yourself from the situation, which a lot of people can't do because it's just the way they've been doing it for so long that they just feel they can't. But I'm positive you can. Trust me, you can always remove yourself from a situation. Two, you can try to change it. Whatever it is, you have the power to change it. If you woke up today, you have the power to change whatever circumstances you find yourself in now. No matter how crummy they may be, how bad you may feel about them, you can always change it. If you're drawing breath and you can talk, you can walk, you have some semblance of consciousness, you can change the circumstances that are happening to you now. Now, if you can't do any of those things, the only thing you can do is really just accept the moment for what it is. And the Marine Corps has a slang, or motto, a saying, whatever you'd like to call it, that goes along the lines of embrace the suck. Sometimes life sucks. But instead of letting that crummy situation affect your pool of crystal clear water, your positive emotions, your positivity, your happiness in life, you can just do one of those three things. Well, what happens? Let's say that you allow those negative emotions, that negative circumstance, which just is, it's neither good nor bad, it's just how you perceive it. Well, it's going to cloud you. It's going to cloud your thoughts. It's going to cloud your feelings. And what's going to end up happening is that'll just spread to others. Just like a couple drops of food coloring in a big bowl of water can murky up that water, the same thing happens when you interact with others. You're a negative person. Well, if the other person doesn't have a large enough pool of crystal clear water, it'll just bring their water down too. It'll murky up their water. It'll bring their emotions down. So, what can you do? Well, anytime you accept the now, you accept the situation you're in now, you either remove yourself from the situation, you change what's bothering you, or you just accept it. Anytime you do that, it just kind of bleaches out your water, it clears out your water. The same thing happens to other people. Your clear water can actually bleach out other people's water as well. When you go to a store, Walmart, Kmart, even on customer service on the phone, what have you, and you talk to somebody and they're like, and you ask them, hey, how are you doing? They're like, I'm good. Say, like, I almost believe you. Maybe make them smile a little bit. Bring a little bit of that positivity with you and give it to them. And just kind of help them clear out their water, their emotions, their feelings. You'd be surprised. It spreads both ways. But I think that if you just keep a sense of positivity about you, if you just keep a sense that, you know what, life is great. I'm blessed. There's all these amazing things that are happening to me right now, or at least one. There's always at least one thing that's going right in your life. And you have that in your mind. You're like, wow, life is great. The moment is. And you know what? I didn't like the moment, so I changed it. Or I didn't like the situation, I took myself away from it. Or man, I can't do any of that. Well, it is what it is, right? Well, you just feel better, and that spreads to others. So I believe that changing the world starts with you. It starts with me, it starts with you. And if you're able to constantly clear up your own emotional pool, if you will, it will spread to others, and it can change the world. So, just a quick thought. Next time you're feeling bad about yourself, you're like, oh man, I can't believe I did such and such, or, somebody I know recently, I'll tell you the story, went to the car wash to wash her car, and the car wash was coming at them, and they went too far, and instead of putting the car in park, they actually drove a little bit forward, and the car wash just shut off. Like, it had just started. It had been like 45 seconds since the car wash had just started, and it just shut off. $15 out the window. And then, that just started clouding their pool. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just threw away $15. I didn't have the $15 to throw away. And it's like, what am I going to do now? And the worst part is, instead of just accepting the moment, because you can't change it, you can't remove yourself from the situation because it's over now, they just let that keep being part of their mind and just let that eat at them. And next thing you know, they made another silly mistake. Nothing crazy, but, they missed a turn or something like that. And it just kept going. Whereas if it's like, look, I lost $15. What are you going to do? And they cleared out that pool and just, instead of letting that food coloring affect them, they just poured more clear water into the same pool. Well, they didn't. And things happen, Whereas if that person would have just been like, nah, man, it's cool. Things happen. I'm human, so be it. It would have been a better day. So just think about it. Next time you have like a silly thing that happens to you, just move on. Be like, whatever. I did what I did. There's nothing I can do about it now. Like, if you wake up and you're late to work, you're like, crap, I'm late to work. Oh my God, like, don't freak out. You learn something, don't just be like, well, I'm late to work, whatever. Don't do it again. Just be like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that again. So, set 3 alarms instead of 2, or like, get to bed earlier. That's something I'm working with, personally. Do whatever. Learn from your mistakes, but don't dwell on them. Don't dwell on them. And you'll notice that your life will just feel like a nice, clear pool of crystal clear water. It'll be great. And who knows, maybe next person you meet, you can clear up their water a little bit too. So, that's my thought for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It might have been a little all over the place, but meh, it's part of the charm. So, thanks for watching. If you liked it, there's a little button below. Give me a thumbs up. That'll be awesome. And feel free to share it. I do this because I want to make other people's days brighter. I want to help other people. So, I hope you enjoyed. Have an awesome day.